Hey guys, this is Ryan, and I am back again with another checkmating tactical puzzle here for you. This one is checkmate without the queen, right? And in this particular position, as you can see, white's king again is a little bit, or black's king, sorry, is a little bit vulnerable. His pieces are on the back rank. 3 of his pieces are still on the back rank, and he is, if you can see, kind of stuck. See how the rook on g1 here is cutting the king off to that side, the h file side of the board. Yeah. So right now, if you look at the king, his only available legal move, if he was checked in the position he is in, would be nowhere, because it's checkmate. For example, if the rook was not here on f4 and the knight was able to just jump to f4 and deliver check, the king cannot move out of check because of his pawn on h4, and he cannot move back to the h6 square right here. Back here, because the knight on f7 is controlling that square. All right, so that would be checkmate. Right. So with that vision in mind, is there any way we could possibly achieve that? One of the ways that we do this is by looking to see if we can sacrifice a piece, and with check, usually, because that makes your opponent have to react to your move. In a number of ways, either taking, moving the king, or blocking. So, whichever one. So let's imagine for a minute that we give check to the black king. We wouldn't want to take the pawn on h4, because the follow-up is really, there's nothing. You can't really check him. The rook's covering the g file. The bishop over here on c8 is shooting all the way. It's actually attacking the knight here on h3. And so it's imperative that we make moves that force our opponents to respond in the manner that we want. Okay, so that one is out of question. Rook takes h4, there's no follow-up, it's not a good move. All right, what about rook to f5 check, allowing this bishop on c8 to capture? Well, if rook to f5 check and bishop takes f5, is there any way we can check the black king? Well, we have vacated the f4 square, and our knight could now jump into that square, delivering check to the black king. And with the knight on f7 controlling the h6 square, and the rook on g1 controlling the g file, and his own pawn blocking him in, that is checkmate. Right? What if he doesn't take with his bishop? What if he tries to block with his rook? Well, if rook to f5 check, rook to g5, I'm pretty sure either rook could take, and it would be a checkmate, because the black king would have nowhere to go. He would not be able to escape on the g file, and the h5 or h6 square is still covered, and the h4 square is still, has his pawn on it. So let's try this variation. That one looks good. All right. So let's run through this. Rook to f5 check. All right. Now let's see. Now we already know that if bishop takes, we've saw this. We've seen this before we moved. That knight to f5 or f4 is checkmate. No escape squares. Right. So now let's check. What if he doesn't take? Well, I'm pretty sure knight to f or knight takes g5 or rook takes g5 is also checkmate. Same kind of pattern because this square here is not there and nothing can't move anywhere. Just can't move. So there we have it. There's our checkmating pattern. Alright. There we go. See? Rook moves. And if rook protects, then it's just checkmate. And if the bishop takes, like we saw beforehand, checkmate. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that and you got something from it. Alright, see you soon.